So I'm not going to show you exactly how to draw your shark because you're going to draw it by observation. Observation means you look at a picture and you try to copy what you see. Start out with the most simplest shapes. Even if the outline isn't perfect, you can do exactly what I do, and I go back and I fix little things, I erase, I perfect, I adjust, and then it looks pretty good at the end. But I never start out with doing it perfect. You can look at it for the basic shape. So maybe you see a rectangle or an oval. Maybe it's not a perfect oval. Maybe it's an oval, but one side of it's a little bit different. So make the oval and then make that one side a little bit different and then erase the original part of the oval. So draw very lightly in the beginning. I know mine's a little enhanced, so it looks like I'm drawing a little bit darker, but you want it to be pretty light, so you can erase it easily if you need to. And then you just modify as you go. So draw, erase, draw, erase if you need to. And then once you feel like you are done with your drawing and everything looks pretty good, really adding the color and adding all the different things that create dimension are going to make it look even better. So you want to first observe the outline shapes, the most simplest shapes that you see. Once you're done with all the pencil marks, if you are doing the whale shark and you want to do some markings, or if your shark has some kind of markings, you could use a wax resist, which is where you go in before you use paint and you use your crayon to do different textures or designs that you're just going to paint right over, and the wax will show through. The wax actually acts almost like a little protector, kind of like a little raincoat for your paper. So it's going to keep it white because the paper is white. So wherever you put that white crayon, that will show up as white. Now I'm diluting my paint. I mixed it up with a bunch of water to make it nice and thin because I know you all have your tempera paints, or you should. So instead of using watercolor, you can use watercolor, but you can use your diluted tempera paints as well. So as long as it's thin enough, that crayon should still show through. I just wanted to add really quickly that diluted means you thinned it out with water. So you can use your tempera paints with water. The more water you add, the lighter the color. So if you're using black, it's going to come out black from the bottle. As you thin it with water, the more water you add, the lighter the color it's going to be when you put it on your paper. So you may want to do a test strip or value scale using your paints and paints with water so you can see how they work, almost like watercolors in this case. Here I'm doing it kind of like step by step. So I'm looking for the darkest areas, then I'm going kind of to the lighter grays, and I'm going to build up the darker areas. So I can start with the darkests, then I can dilute it a little bit, add more water. I can add water right on my paper and then add a little bit of paint to that to make it nice and light. Just practice, and then you could even make a painted value scale like you did at the beginning of class with your pencil. And you can just practice using different dark and light values of your paint. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to observe where you see it on your shark and try to translate that over to your picture. Do it again at your level. And we're going to practice doing that and see how it comes out at the end. It should help you make it look more 3D. Certain areas of your shark will be more shadowed. Some of them will be more light. Some areas of your shark will be naturally white and some areas will be naturally gray, but there may be changes in them. There may be some kind of grayer areas of the white or darker areas of the gray. So you're going to want to look for those and try to build up the color where you see it. Make sure the paper you're working on is thick enough for you to paint on. So this is my finished whale shark. I want you guys to think of this as an artist's study. This doesn't have to be your best masterpiece, but I want you to take your time. I want you to look at the shapes and try to copy the shapes over. I want you to try out the process that I'm showing you. And I want you to look at the values. Look for the dark areas and try to put the dark areas on your paper where you see them in the photographs. And the same with the lights. You're going to learn how to use your tempera paints and how to mix them with whites and how to mix them with water to dilute them to create grays. So I want you to really learn from this experience, and I think they're going to look amazing. Please make sure to upload this to Artsonia as soon as you are done. Take your time, and good luck!